What's up, champions? Donnie Boivin here. Most business owners aren't CEOs. They're the most overworked employee inside their own company. By the end of this session, you'll walk away with a CEO mindset and a way to test and evaluate every task you do and a plan to start building towards business freedom. So you're out here selling into mid-market companies, and somehow you ended up in a networking rooms with a guy selling magic crystals and someone who just launched their coaching business yesterday. You don't need another awkward coffee with someone who can't even spell B2B. You need real conversations that lead to real outcomes. You need a winning team that's as invested in your success as you are. That's Success Champion Networking, built for business owners who sell real solutions to real companies and are tired of networking in all the wrong rooms. No silly jingles, no pass a referral or else pressure, just smart, growth-minded pros who serve the same business-to-business audience as you do. So if you're ready to stop networking with people who think mid-market is a grocery store, go to successchampionnetworking.com, find a chapter near you, and register to visit. So, what is going on, champions? This will be a fun episode because I know for the longest time in my business, I didn't actually create a company for myself. I created a really, really, really shitty job for myself. And there was a lot of factors that went into play in doing this. A lot of it being that, I spent almost 20 years working for other people. And even though that I was in a sales role, I never understood that somebody was always telling me what to do. And now that I was out on my own with my own company, there was nobody to tell me what to do. So I had to try and figure all this crap out on my own. And there's a lot of crap to actually learn, in this business. And so I struggled a lot trying to get this dialed in and right. And what I found is most days I was just burning the candle at both ends. And it was this weird series of I'd do a lot of virtual coffees. I'd have a random downtime hour that I didn't know what to do with. And then I had a lot of this administrative type things to do. And I was the chef and the trash guy. So I had to do all and everything had to get done through me. And it was just a series of overwhelm. And what I found most times was we create that for us because we're essentially unintentionally recreating the environment we left because that's all we know, right? The most interesting thing a mentor of mine told me is a CEO doesn't think in how, they think in who. And that's really hard to do because if you think about it, when you're an employee, when you're asked to do something, right? You do it or you get reprimanded. When you're, working for yourself, there's nobody asking you to do it, but you still have this thought process you're going to get reprimanded if you don't. So you dive in and do the work versus thinking, who could get this done for me? Add in to the mix that we have it in our head that it costs so much to hire people to come help us that we won't even look at trying to bring somebody on to take some of the heat off of our plate. And so we're going to talk through a lot of things around that ideology of how do you get things off your plate? What do you get off your plate? Who should be doing those? And how the hell do you come up with the money to actually be able to afford somebody to take something completely off your plate and free up your time? So early on, one of the funniest things that I did, and I don't know why I thought about this one day, I just kind of stumbled into it. I started writing down everything that I was doing on a daily basis, every task, every step, every motion, everything that I was doing that was required me to do it. So it was things like posting on LinkedIn, sending emails, replying to emails, doing the virtual coffees, checking the bank accounts, checking QuickBooks, balancing the books, uh, you know, freaking everything. Everything you think about in your business, I was writing them all down. And I wrote them on one sheet of paper, just in a straight column on a sheet of paper. I then drew a line next to that column, and I wrote this phrase above that column on the right, and it said, would Steve Jobs do this task? And I went one by one through each one of these tasks and literally asked, would Steve Jobs be sitting here doing this particular task? And as you know, there was a lot of shit that I was doing that I shouldn't be doing in my business. But I was also of the mindset I can't afford to bring somebody else to come in and do all these things. I have to do it. And I could not see a way to, get around that. It was going to have to be me. And because I wasn't making a whole lot of money, and by God, I couldn't hire, or I thought I couldn't hire people to do things. And now, granted, this was 8 years ago for me, and I'm blown away right now by this moment we're living in because AI is really stepping up and making life a whole lot simpler. So and there's a lot of tools, and I know AI can get very, very overwhelming. But I think through just as simple if I were to stay a one platform company, which we're not, but if I were, I'd be going to look at Chat GPT right now, and if you go scroll down in your Chat GPT to settings, you'll see a thing called connectors. And connectors connect to multiple various apps that you can connect your Chat GPT if you have the pro version. And you'll be blown away by what you can do. You can hook your Google Drive and look for files and folders. You can hook your emails up to Chat GPT and ask for daily summaries and emails you need to reply to. Right. And you can literally set up, in the past, I've paid people a couple $100, a week to monitor my emails. You can do this for your Chat GPT, $20 that you're already paying a month for the pro version account. So imagine having somebody monitoring your emails, and you doesn't cost you any more money. You can put up all kinds of parameters. And with everything, if you don't know how to do something, go to YouTube, type in there, hey, how do I do X? And you'll find a YouTube video of somebody walking you through how do I use connectors inside Chat GPT. So going back to the Steve Jobs thing, when I figured all the things out that I shouldn't be doing, which pretty much equated to anything that wasn't business development, meaning anything that wasn't putting me client facing in conversations with people who could say yes to me, right? If any task took away from that moment, I needed to get somebody else to do it. But I couldn't figure out how to get these off my plate until I found crazy cool places like Fiverr and Upwork. And I can hear some people eye rolling already, that they don't like working at. But man, I can tell you, I have found some amazing, awesome people in price ranges that I can afford. And I do personally like Upwork a lot better than any other platform because I can go into Upwork and put a job request that says, I have this task that needs to be done. This is my budget. And it can be $5, $10. And there's going to be people who need the money, are looking to grow and get out of their personal life situations in third world country. That $5 to them is a lot of damn money. And I don't think it's taking advantage of them. I think it's actually two people helping each other out in a volume and way that they can actually afford to help each other out. They may have time, energy. You can only afford 5, $10 to do said task. It's a win on both sides of the table. And so what I started doing was taking down all those tasks that Steve Jobs wouldn't do and going, okay, can I put these into clusters that somebody else could do? So I found somebody to do LinkedIn pages for me. I found somebody to do some outreach for me. I found somebody to do some email writing and campaign work for me. Like all these things, I kept hiring people on a task-based system to get the things off of my plate. Um, really, CEOs don't do more. They decide what not to do and get people to do those things. So, what you need to really look at is two things, I think, in a business. One, what's the tasks that pull you away from doing business development? Two, what are the tasks you do repeatedly on a regular basis over and over and over again? The tasks that take you off of, being business development out front, talking to people and the like, those you need to figure out, can I turn these into tasks that I can give somebody else to do, right? the tasks that you're doing over and over and over again on a weekly basis, there is some sort of AI that has already been created that can take your task off your plate, and most likely it's just a custom GPT inside of Chat GPT. So inside of Chat GPT, all you do is click on GPT's Explore. Once you're in there, just type in the search box whatever task you need somebody else to do. And I can almost guarantee that there is a custom GPT that's already been built to do the exact task you need done. And all you do is and they're free, right? They're part of Chat GPT most times. And so you click on it, you say, I need to have a GPT that writes emails for me. I need a GPT that can help me with LinkedIn outreach. Whatever the task is, find a GPT. It's already been built. I mean, I can tell you it's crazy enough that I found custom GPTs that help me build maps for my D&D campaigns. Like there's a GPT for freaking everything, right? But you go find the task that you're doing, especially the repetitive tasks, the task you're doing over and over and over again. Go find a custom GPT that can do this for you. And a lot of this is all about, start ugly. Don't worry about getting anything right. This is the idea. You start early and then you iterate fast, which means you upgrade and go as you continue to learn more and more and more. What most people are doing right now in this day and age is they're looking at AI and they're getting overwhelmed because there's too many options out there. There's too many platforms. There's Claude, there's Perplexity, there's ChatGPT, there's Jarvis, all these programs. I'm okay if you stay in the ChatGPT world just to keep your head screwed on straight, but go into those custom GPTs so you can figure out the tools that will actually work for your business. I mean, I've built several custom GPTs for my company that help me with all kinds of crazy tasks just to make my life a lot easier. So, what you're really thinking about is a typical freelancer is stuck inside their business, right? They are constantly struggling with getting all things done. The CEO stays out and works on the business. One of the GPTs that I know in there is you can get a business coach, a sales coach that are all custom GPTs that can help you figure out how do you grow your business, how do you grow your sales, and it doesn't cost you anything more a month than what you're already paying. Just give those custom GPTs your issue, right? And literally AI can step in. Like, look, I'm not trying to be you know, AI save the planet type thing. And I'm not telling you to let AI write your content, but I am tell you that if you're the only person inside your company that's thinking, how do I solve this problem? You're going to lose because you don't have enough personal life experience to get outside enough to be able to work on. So if you can't afford a coach or consultant, go get a GPT that somebody else programmed and wrote to help you figure it all out. Right? Most people are sitting back and they're thinking, man, how do I do this versus who can do this for me? And you can either go find, people $5 to $10 an hour or these custom GPTs that will, allow you to free up your time and get going. Um, so I think if you structure your business into 4 segments, you'll make your life very, very, very simple. And to keep it easy, I came up with 4 S's that will help you break this down. The first one, S, is systematize. Every task you're doing, document it. Keep it simple. What are you doing? How do you do it? Right? And what will be the step by step process for somebody else to do this? If you can systematize everything you do, you can find somebody else or a tool to take that thing off your plate. Second, schedule. You need to block your freedom week in advance. Like you need to block your time out. Monday, maybe it's an operations day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are virtual coffees and reach outs and the like. And Fridays is your follow up day or the like. Right? Build your schedule that you're going to work through, just like you were punching a time clock and working for somebody else. The third S is support. You need to delegate all this stuff, whether you're delegating it to a GPT or you delegate it to a freelancer you're outsourcing to. Get the stuff off your plate so you can go do the things you want to do. And then number 4 is strengthen, is where you look at all the 3 before it, the systematize, the schedule, and support, and you fix what breaks along the way. So what you're doing is you're looking at each week and going, okay, what do I need to systematize? What do I have scheduled? What support do I need? Who are the people I need to get, or the GPTs I need to put in play? And then S is, what do I need to look at from last week that we need to button up, strengthen up, and actually make work? So here's a challenge for you. I want you to pick a day, 90 days out. That's your freedom week. Type it in chat if you're brave enough and you're watching along, you're hanging out with us. And what I want you to do is in that 90 days, I want you to be totally structured and built out with these 4 S's, so you actually are working the 4S Freedom Week. Like, if you can get this dialed in, you can actually start building a business for yourself and not a really shitty job. So to wrap this all up for today, what I want you to do is get CEO focused. Think about, how do I work on the business and who can do the task for me? I want you to win ugly. Start ugly, right? Just go. Don't worry about making things perfect. Don't worry about them making them right. Just go. Shit's gonna break. Fix it as it breaks, and continue to go. You work very, very diligently. Work smart. I want you to leverage other people, leverage other tools, leverage other systems, so this can work better for you. And if you get all this right, this will ultimately help you create freedom weeks where your business is running in the proper format. So you can't scale hustle, right? It's really, really simple. You can only scale your self-discipline, your self-leadership. So stop being a worker and start being the CEO in the company. Guys, we do this each week. We're live here on Success Champions Live, right? Coming in, and I'm answering questions that we find from our community, from Reddit, and from other places, or people are struggling to win in business and in networking. So if you got any value out of this, please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And we'll catch you next go around. Love you, mean it. See you. Bye. So you're out here selling into mid-market companies, and somehow you ended up in a networking rooms with a guy selling magic crystals and someone who just launched their coaching business yesterday. You don't need another awkward coffee with someone who can't even spell B2B. You need real conversations that lead to real outcomes. You need a winning team that's as invested in your success as you are. That's Success Champion Networking, built for business owners who sell real solutions to real companies and are tired of networking in all the wrong rooms. No silly jingles, no pass a referral or else pressure, just smart, growth-minded pros who serve the same business-to-business audience as you do. So if you're ready to stop networking with people who think mid-market is a grocery store, go to successchampionnetworking.com, find a chapter near you, and register to visit.